Joe, the other day you said you like to reward guys for their work and stuff. You played almost everybody who was available tonight. Was that more a product of the injuries you guys had, wanting to, test different things out on the court, or were you just trying to reward those guys for the work they put in?
I think it was a little bit. It was mostly because we had, three, four guys out. But that happens over the course of the season, and the guys got to be ready. So our staff in Maine and in Boston does a great job keeping the locker room ready, and everybody that played over the last two games, I thought, played a part in the process of winning, and that's what you look for over the course of a season.
A lot of those lineups haven't played together this year. What does it say about the guys that they're just able to sort of make it work with whoever's on the court?
Yeah, I think one of the strengths of the team is the basketball IQ that we have, and so they're able to understand the spacing, the matchups, and what we're trying to accomplish. So, yeah.
Joe, with those guys, or really anybody, you're not big on telling them or saying you're going to play tonight.
Mm-mm.
How did that develop for you, and how do you feel like that kind of puts guys in positions to succeed when they do get called?
I just feel like if you give a guy an idea if he's going to or not going to, it changes his preparation on a daily basis. And so I want our guys to come into the arena every day thinking that their process is important towards winning. And they have to be ready to go, and they got to treat every single day, every single game as if they're going to impact winning. And so by not telling them, it allows them to just treat every single day as if it's the most important day, and they do a great job of embracing that. But it's important because there's just a lot of unpredictability over the course of the season. You got to be ready to go at any time, and if you're only ready to go because you know you're going to play, then that doesn't really help your process.
Joe, normally you guys will, on a back-to-back, stagger Kristaps one day, Al the next. Yesterday, you played both. What went into that decision? Was there something that you saw today? And then what made it so Luke played as well as he did and Neemias Queta played as well as he did?
We did it last year at the beginning of the season in the Cleveland-Orlando back-to-back. In the Orlando game, in the Cleveland game, we played both Al and KP, and in the Orlando game, we started Lamar Stevens at the 5. So in those situations, depending upon when we also didn't know Derek or Jalen were going to miss. So you just try to look to see the matchup. Can you win the matchup? What does the matchup look like the next night? Where can you plug in your pieces and stuff like that. So we try to do that a couple of times throughout the year when the matchups present themselves as an opportunity for us to, for an advantage situation.
Is that just more just to keep the continuity?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just for Luke, just having, the block shots, but not just the block shots. He played some really good positional defense as well. Just to see him come out and do that. What went into that?
Yeah, when he plays with the level of physicality on both ends of the floor, it makes our team different. And I think the two things, his two biggest strengths are his physicality and rim protection when he's at his best, and then his screening versus different coverages. And I thought he saw both of those throughout the game. And he's just got to continue to do that. But when he plays at a high level, we're a different team, and we can go to different things.
Joe, you guys went big at some point in the first. Nemi, Tillman, Tatum, Peterson, Pritchard. What was the thought process of just putting that particular combination together?
Again, in their second unit, we wanted to switch a little bit more and win the offensive glass. And so X and Nemi give us that opportunity to do that. And they're a little bit more versatile to where we could do more switching and kind of hurt them on the glass.
Joe, you pushed your guys, deep minutes, including Jason last night, not tonight. 37, I think, Jason, 36 for Hauser. Jason obviously probably could have used a break. What goes into kind of trying to give guys, you asked this before thing about Jason, and you just say, hey, if he tells you he wants to play, he wants to play. But how do you kind of manage that situation? Because tonight, it wasn't a crisp game on either side. Both teams played last night. And how do you kind of manage when your team, because of fatigue, is just going to not play as crisply?
We only had 10 turnovers. No, we had 17.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a crisp game.
Yeah, you had 6 turnovers in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's a good one. Listen, the guys take pride in playing, and like I said, he has great camp around him to where they just do a great job taking care of his body, and you want to reward guys for taking pride in playing. It's not going to look pretty every single night, but I think it's more about just the preparation and the things that go into making sure those guys are ready to play, whether it's a back-to-back or not. So you see that from Jason, what Jalen did to try to prepare to play tonight's game, I thought is important. It sets a tone for the guys. It sets a tone for the locker room. It sets a tone that you're willing to work through stuff to play. So I'd rather them be out there and it not look crisp than not be out there. But there's also times to rest, and I trust them, and I trust their team to be able to just, the sports science guys, to be able to figure that out.
there seems to be an inherent pressure now with load management and folks complaining that guys don't play enough and fans and all that. You guys don't have that issue, but do you sense that some of your guys feel pressure to have to play every night?
No, they like to play. No, I wouldn't want them to feel that. No, they just enjoy competing. So I think it's a strength of those guys. Yeah.
Feels like we're asking you about Peyton after every game, but you hear other coaches and other teams talk about how he's becoming a priority to stop him. He's in all the scouting reports now. What does it say about him that he's able to continually be this productive as teams kind of focus more and more on him?
I mean, it says two things. It says one about him just as a player as he's continued to grow and be patient. Again, the hardest thing for young guys is to make it through their first contract, when there's a lot of unknowns. And you look at his first year, he played a lot, then Kemba came back and he didn't play. And it seems like his first couple years, every year, there was just wings ahead of him. And he's just continued to work. And so that's hard to do for a young guy. And I think the second piece is that his teammates understanding that we need to have a different identity. We need to go to different stuff. And he takes a ton of pressure off the other guys. And so I think it's twofold, right? It's what he's done, and it's the team empowering him to do that because he's special.
Joe, Drew Peterson had not played, I think, a total of 30 NBA minutes before yesterday, and then the last two games.
In his whole career?
In his whole career.
Oh, wow.
And then the last 2 days is 51 combined minutes. So just what do you like about his game? Obviously, you said he had good reps, but what does he bring to a team, and why has he kind of stuck out here these last 2 days?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you played against two good defenses, two teams that really protect the paint, and two teams that have length and physicality. And so to me, he's done a great job. One, he plays with a level of confidence. Two, I always like guys who are better defenders than people think. You said that with Sam and Drew. He's a better defender than people think he is. He can think the game in real time, and so he can understand what teams are trying to do on both ends of the floor, and he can adjust to that really quickly. And he can make shots. And so you see, like tonight, like everyone will look at the 2 for 5, but he had 7 rebounds. And so he has the ability to impact the game in different ways. He has the ability to think in real time, and he can defend.
Thanks.
Thanks.